I recently posted a video about the M1, and this guy posted this morning that it, much like the DX-7, has 3 useful sounds. And while a good friend of mine said that this sound is very dated, I'm like, bingo. But giving this guy the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to use the factory sounds and play some of the ones that I think are my favorite. And there's certainly more than 3, and it's not this surprise sound, which is like the 99th patch. Some of the patches are kind of weak, but you know, there's so much to explore, and I'm like, dude, go out on the internet. Through 6X, there are so many patches you can download, good or bad, and some of the sites to get them are pretty amazing.
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Because these things are testaments to internet history. Look at this right here. Ancient, but still usable. And the first one is the 38 patch, which is the solo synth. Again, I'm using these out of the box, no editing, no effects, basically as they came, because I think this is the way that the commenter was using the synth, because obviously with affecting the parameters, there's so much more you can do. And this is the patch 43, Angels. Sounds a little bit like starting an old Mac, but you know, I think for backing pad, this is a nice sound. There's so much you can do with it. And this one's a little bit more for that cinematic drama. A little cheesy, a little bit very Korg M1, but it is the patch 60 Cloud 9. And this is the collab. It sounds a little dry without any effects on it, but yeah, this is actually like a pretty mean, you know, patch, and definitely useful for kind of a you know, rough bass synth or even a lead. And this is the analog synth, the analog bass. You can't go wrong with it. It's you know, pretty good at the low end, but actually can be a decent lead later on. And this is digital too. There's a whole bunch of you know, patches that are just called digital, which great on you for originality there, Korg. But you know, I think this is probably the best one. Again, like, could be a lead, could be a bass. You know, fun stuff you can do. And the last patch here is the mono synth. And yes, of course, there are a million other mono synth patches available on VSTs and other keyboards, but this one on the M1 is definitely usable. Put a distortion, put an overdrive, put a reverb, put a delay on it, and right out of this box, you've got some really good tone. So there's way more than 3 out of the factory patches that are good. So you know, I think the commentator is a little bit off there. But let's go check out the DX-7 and defend the patch goodness of this very famous synth. Oh, but before we go, like, we can't look at an M1 and not talk about the pianos. Do not be sleeping on these pianos. This is the 8 piano, which is patch 41. Really good for 90s music. You cannot not like that if you're from the 90s. Now, this first patch is the angle brass patch, which is the first one. Really good, very FM, but cool. And this is patch 9. It's definitely better for like the dream pop, but pretty cool. And I like this one. It's a little noisy and chirpy, but honestly, I think that's kind of cool for the 80s Katsuo mix. So, now that I learned how to count, I'm bringing you this nice analog synth that is, pretty cool to hear out of FM. So, all that to say, there are more than 3 good sounds on each of these synthesizers, and it's a total scratch of the surface because there are so many libraries available on the internet for free or very little money. Find a friend, post to some chat boards. I'm sure you can do some trading, and there's way more you can do with these. Of course, if it's not for you and you want to just use a VST or you want to use whatever, just make music, have fun. Post all your shit posts to me. I love to read the comments, especially the ones that poke fun at me. So like and subscribe, and maybe I'll make a video about you. Take care.